So the Euro 2020 group stage nearly ends. We're here today to predict the final batch of group stage games. Who's going through to the next round? Let's find out. What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. I've got to apologise for the fact that I didn't manage to make my round 2 predictions as a separate video. The game's just been going so quickly, but thankfully UEFA were kind enough to give me a little bit of time to get my video out today. Now, one thing that I will show for the very first time is the prediction league for Euro 2020, and it looks like this. Looks quite fancy, dare I say. Now, unfortunately, none of you were able to leave a prediction of round 2 because the video was very late and it was a live stream. Now, what this means, I did get 6 points from that week. Not as good as week 1, of course. So I am technically first place on 15 points. But if I still finish first at the end of the season, because no one else has predicted on week 2, I'll give myself a 6-point deduction just to make sure it's a fair competition. But I'm at top. Joshua Frood is close on my tails. Honeygun not doing too badly as well. Football Pad and Charlie Brown, we need to up their game going into the next round of games. If you do want to be on that league, make sure you comment your predictions in the comments down below before the match is played. And then if you got the correct result, you'll get 1 point. If you get the correct score, you get 3 points. So that is how it's going to work. Let's start predicting the final batch of Euro 2020 group stage games. So we'll start off with Italy going up against Wales. Italy already qualified for the round of 16. Wales with 4 points. They're currently second place in a very strong position. Now, what Wales will have to do, they have to hope that they don't get heavily beaten and Switzerland do not beat Turkey by a big score. If they can frustrate Italy, and even if they did lose, it wasn't by a big scoreline, then Wales will most definitely be fine, even if Switzerland do beat Turkey. But the table is very close, and Italy for me are one of the favourites for this tournament. I've seen them for 2 games already, beating Switzerland and Turkey by 3-0. Berardi being brilliant, Immobile being absolutely brilliant as well. Locatelli was the hero for the last game, scoring 2 goals against Switzerland. For Wales, of course, they did well to beat Turkey. They were fantastic in that first half and probably should have scored even more goals. Gabriel, of course, missed a penalty, but he provided a fantastic assist for the first goal for Ramsey. To predict this game now, I do think Italy, based on the performances, I think are slightly stronger than Wales. I'm going to say 2-0 to Italy. FIFA 21 is predicting 1-0 to Italy. Next up, we've got Switzerland going up against Turkey. Turkey not in a great position at all. In fact, it is impossible for them to qualify. I mean, the best that they can hope for is to try and beat Switzerland and see if they can beat their goal difference. But in the position that they are right now with a -5 goal difference, it's pretty much going to be impossible for Turkey to qualify. They will very likely be rock bottom of the table despite what result they have. Switzerland have got a small bit of motivation. They have a very small chance. They lost 3-0 to Italy, and I think that result in itself is going to be very damaging to Switzerland's chances of going through. I think Switzerland are the favourites for this game. I just don't think Turkey have turned up at all. So as a prediction, I'm going to say a 1-0 victory to Switzerland. FIFA 21 is saying a 0-0 draw this game. Now, here are the final Group A tables if my predictions came through. So, Italy will go through, Wales second, Switzerland third, and Turkey fourth. The teams in third with a yellow highlighter means they are one of the 4 best placed third place teams. So luckily for Switzerland, by the skin of their teeth, they do qualify for the knockout round. And now here's FIFA's final table. So they have Italy, Wales, also Switzerland and Turkey. So the same table. However, Switzerland with only 2 points, they do not qualify, unfortunately. We first have got North Macedonia against Netherlands. Now, it pains me to say it with North Macedonia being one of my sweepstake clubs, but they have been completely turned over in this tournament, unfortunately. They had the opportunity to have a small chance of going through if they were to get a result against Ukraine. It was a pretty mad game, actually. Ukraine took a quick lead, 2 goals in 5 minutes. A brilliant goal, once again, by Yarmolenko, who's having an incredible tournament. But then Ezgan Alioski, who had his penalty saved, he actually scored the rebound. And it was a pretty tight game in the end, but the fact that Ukraine did manage to hold on It now puts North Macedonia in a very, very bad position. They're in 0 points after 2 matches being played. They have a very small chance of potentially being one of the best third place teams. But they're going to have to face the toughest team in the group, Netherlands, who've won maximum points for their games so far. They have conceded, 2 goals, very silly goals against Ukraine. Although against Austria, defensively, they looked a lot more solid this time. And they managed to score plenty of goals as well. And I do fear Netherlands are probably going to have a bit of a goal fest in this game. I'm going to say a 3-1 away victory to Netherlands. FIFA 21 is predicting 2-0 to Netherlands. Now we've got Ukraine versus Austria. Now this is when things get interesting. Now, as it stands, Ukraine are above Austria in the group in second place because they have scored 1 more goal than Austria. So a draw for Ukraine would be enough to qualify. But looking at this game, they'll be definitely wanting to try and win this game. So it's going to be really, really intriguing to see if Ukraine are going to be tense, if they're going to go out and see if they can fight. I mean, they narrowly got past North Macedonia. I felt they should have been a bit more convincing. They definitely should have scored a couple more goals there. Austria against Netherlands were pretty poor. Alaba giving away the penalty near the start of the game. And pretty much from that moment onwards, it was all downhill for Austria, really. They really had very little fun going forward. Arnautovic will be back in the squad as well, which could be fantastic news for Austria. But to predict this game, it's really tight. I don't know what to say for this. I'm seeing a draw, but you know what? I think Ukraine might edge this. I'm going to say 2-1 to Ukraine. FIFA 21 is predicting 0-0. Now, if all of my results came true, Netherlands will be first with 9. Ukraine second with 6. Austria with 3 points, but despite that, they are one of the best ranked third place teams, so they go through, and North Macedonia with a measly 0 points. Now, if FIFA's predictions all came true, Netherlands will go through, but Austria would be second, so a bit of a change in the table. But Ukraine with third place, they still are one of the best third place teams, so they qualify. Next up is Finland going up against Belgium. Now, Finland may feel they may have something to play for. They're still third place in their group, so if they could get a couple of points against Belgium, they definitely would increase their chance to at least qualify, maybe by third place. But they are playing a Belgian team who've got 100% points. They were really tested against Denmark. They did fall behind very, very quickly to a Poulsen goal. But Kevin De Bruyne changed the game completely. As soon as he went on the pitch, he got an assist and he got a goal. And you know what? Being a very important player like that, he could be a really, really key asset for Belgium having success in this tournament. And one thing I really do worry about Finland is their lack of goals. Of course, they've only scored 1 goal in 2 games. In contrast, Belgium has scored 5 goals in 2. So they're definitely having a lot more success finding the back of the net. And as a result of that, I think Belgium, will be pretty comfortable. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say 3-0 to Belgium. I think they'll wipe the floor. FIFA 21, though, is predicting a bit of a shock, a 2-1 victory to Finland, which will be absolutely incredible if we see that. Now you've got Russia versus Denmark. Now, Russia picking up that win against Finland was big. It's now given them a pretty big chance of qualifying. They're coming on 3 points. But it's definitely not the realms of possibility that Denmark could swap places. If Denmark can beat Russia and better their result, then Denmark will definitely overtake Russia. And then they'll rely on Finland on how they do against Belgium to see if they can qualify in second or third. So despite it being a very tumultuous tournament for Denmark and being a bit unfortunate, they have a very strong chance here to wrong the right. You know, when they played against Finland, they probably shouldn't have lost, but unfortunately circumstances were really, really tough for them. Now this is the game that they need to show when they showed in that first half against Belgium. It shows that they've got their quality. That's what they need to do against Russia now. Now, I think this is going to be a really tight game. I don't think there'll be many goals in this one. I'm going to edge maybe Denmark, actually. I think I've got a bit more confidence in their squad. I know they're last place, but I think they'll have enough. I'm going to say 1-0 away to Denmark. FIFA 21 is predicting 1-1. Now, if all of my results came true, this is what the table would look like for Group B. Belgium first. Denmark from 4th place, snatch 2nd place. Finland and Russia will be the bottom 2. And unfortunately, Finland being 3rd, they do not qualify as one of the best 3rd place teams. Now, for FIFA's predictions, all they came true. Belgium will be first. Finland will be second, unbelievably. Russia will be third and they will qualify as one of the best third place teams, and Denmark finishing rock bottom with only 1 point. We now have Croatia going up against Scotland. Now both of them are in the bottom part of the Group D table, but if one of them picks up a win, they can have a very small chance of qualifying. Now, to put your minds in ease on what's going on in terms of the goals and the goal difference, both Croatia and Scotland have conceded 2 goals, but Croatia has scored one crucially against Czech Republic, which has earned them their point. Now, in terms of the goal difference, it means that they're 2 goals worse off than England, but they have scored more goals than them. All they need to do now is match their goal difference. Then Croatia could overtake England, and same with Scotland. I think their goal difference is going to be a little bit more difficult, but if they beat Croatia here and get 4 points, Scotland could have a pretty good chance of qualifying in third and being one of the best third place best teams. So that is definitely, I think, what Scotland need to do. They need to go all guns blazing, beat Croatia, then they've got a very strong chance of qualifying. Had they lost against England, it would have been impossible for Scotland to qualify. So the fact that they did draw against England, you know, their celebrations were justified and they really deserve it. I thought they were really good in that game. To predict this game is tough, but I'm going to say I might back Croatia, you know. I think Croatia might edge this. I'm going to say 1-0 because I just don't think Scotland can score goals. FIFA 21 is going the opposite way and predicting 1-0 Scotland. So I'm going to be very, very excited to see what happens in this game. And now, of course, it's the big game. Czech Republic going up against England. Both of these sides on 4 points in the table. Czech Republic ahead of England based on their goal difference and goals scored. So that is why Czech Republic have got a slight edge over us at the moment. So a draw would do Czech Republic very, very nicely because it means it sees them through into the next round in first place. And that's why I've got a really bad feeling it could be that scoreline. Czech Republic, though, you know, they've still got the top goal scorer, Patrick Schick, in this competition. 3 goals in 2 games. Absolutely unbelievable form that he's under right now. In terms of England, I mean, I ranted about the Scotland game and they just were very slow going forward. What I want to see in this game, just a tweak in the squad. Maybe not necessarily a tweak in the formation, but just a tweak of tactics, a tweak of squad selection, and just to play with a bit more speed and a lot more intensity. And I tell you what, if you give Harry Kane more service, he will score goals. He can't just turn bad now. I mean, you just don't know with England. You know, with the squad, we should be beating Czech Republic quite comfortably. We beat them 5-0 very recently. But I'm going to say 1-1. I think it'll be a draw. And FIFA 21 is actually predicting a 0-0 draw, so not far away from my original prediction. So if that happens, my table for Group D will look like this. Czech Republic first, England second, Croatia third, but they qualify as one of the best third place teams, and Scotland, unfortunately, last place. If FIFA's predictions came true, this is what their table looked like. Czech Republic first and England again, but Scotland this time third, and they qualify as one of the best third place teams, with Croatia with only 1 point and last place. Next game we have is Slovakia versus Spain. Now, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but Spain are in a really bad position here. They only have 2 points in 2 games, and right now, they need to try and breach a gap against Slovakia, who are still 1 point and 1 place above them. Now, if Spain beats Slovakia, probably a scenario will be that they'll have 5 points and they'll most definitely qualify for the round of 16. But if Slovakia hold out a result, then unbelievably, Spain will be in real jeopardy of going out. They'll have 3 points and they'll be in third place likely. And they'll have to hope that Poland do not beat Sweden, because if so, Spain would finish rock bottom of the table. Slovakia recently have just been a team that are really frustrating to play against, really tough to break down. Poland struggled with it. They got down to 10 men, of course, and they really struggled with it. Sweden had to be very, very patient. They had to wait near the end to get an Emil Forsberg penalty to eventually beat Slovakia. So Spain may find it really frustrating to break them down. And of course, scoring goals has been a really big problem for Spain. Morata managed to score 1 goal, and we thought it may be an offside, but Spain have finally scored a goal. And of course, they had the chance to actually beat Poland by 2-1, but they missed a penalty. Gerald Moreno hit the post, and of course, Morata missed the rebound as well. And Spain are now in a really bad position. I've got a really sneaky feeling Slovakia could actually do something here. I'm going to say 1-0 Spain. I don't know why. I think it'll be very, very short of goals. And I think Spain might just edge it. They may just find one opportunity. So it means Spain will be on 5 points. FIFA 21 is predicting 2-0 Spain. Now we've gone to Sweden versus Poland. Now Sweden are currently first place in this group. Can this be the second consecutive tournament that Sweden finished first place in their group, which is absolutely incredible? And Sweden, you've got to give them a load of credit. They know how to approach a Euro tournament or just an international tournament in general. That is the complete antithesis though when it comes to Poland, because in the last two tournaments, they've really not shown up. Their big players not showing up. Finally, Lewandowski, he has scored his first international tournament goal. And it was against a good team like Spain as well. So that's fantastic for him. But it does put Poland in a really bad position. You know, I definitely think it's going to be very difficult for them to overtake Sweden, even if they beat them in this game. But a win for them would definitely put Slovakia and Spain in jeopardy. Qualification is not impossible yet for Poland, but it's going to be very, very difficult. They're going to want to rely on the most things to go their way. I'm going to say with this game, based on what I see, I think Sweden will edge it. I really like their squad. I'm going to say 2-1 Sweden. FIFA 21 though is actually going to predict 2-0 Poland. Now, if all of my results came true, this is what the table looked like. Sweden first with 7, Spain second with 5 points, Slovakia get third, but unfortunately they're not one of the best third place teams, and Poland will be rock bottom. Now this is what FIFA's table will look like. Spain will be first, Poland will be second, Sweden will be third, but they will qualify as one of the best third place teams, and Slovakia, despite winning, will be rock bottom. Now we've made it to the final group, Group F, and we've now got Germany versus Hungary. Now, Germany had an incredible performance against Portugal. I watched it yesterday as a watch-along. It was a 6-goal thriller. 4-2 to Germany it ended. And this was the first proper Germany performance I've seen in a good 2-3 years. So it's been long overdue to see a performance like this on Germany, but fair play to them. They've turned up and at the right time as well. And in fact, with the fact they've got to play bottom place of the table, Hungary, if they win this game, they could very, very likely finish top of their group, which is absolutely incredible. Because I thought with their really lackluster performance against France, I thought they were going to go, you know, like what they did in the 2018 World Cup. But you've got to give them credit. And one player who was absolutely scintillated was Robin Gosens. He got 2 assists and a goal. So he's been absolutely incredible for the Germany. And one thing they've done really well is attacking down their wings. It's something what I want to see England do. Portugal really couldn't deal with it defensively. They play Hungary, which they did grind out a great result against France, a 1-1 draw. Great goal actually by Fiola. And they did have a couple of chances, Hungary, to try and extend the scoreline. But ultimately, a lot of it was defending France. And they did so to perfection, and it could really frustrate Germany. However, with the squads that I see, I think Germany will have a lot of fun with this. I'm going to say 3-0 Germany. FIFA 21, though, is going to predict 4-0 to Germany. So pretty similar scorelines. And now, finally, the biggest game of the group stage. Portugal, France. Now, respectively, France are first, Portugal are third. Now, Portugal need to win this game. Portugal have to win if they want to have a chance of qualifying. France, if they want to finish first, they have to win. They have to win. It's a must-win game for both of these sides. And both of them didn't really perform too well yesterday. France, of course, managed to sneak a point in. You know, it was a brilliant goal by Griezmann. And France really should have scored a lot more goals. They missed so many chances against Hungary. As with Portugal, they took a fantastic lead to the game. And what I've noticed with Portugal, they play a lot on the counter-attack. But when it comes to try and build up football and try and build and create their own chances, they do struggle in that department. And Germany really outplayed them in terms of their football and really showed them up, in my opinion, and defending-wise, weren't really that good against Germany. And that's what I do fear about Portugal going into this game. It is a repeat of the Euro 2016 final, so I'm really excited to see the outcome of it. I don't know what to predict. It's really, really difficult to call. It's really, really tight. But I'm going to say, a bit of a shock, actually. I'm going to say Portugal might do this. I'm going to say 2-1 Portugal. I don't know what it is, but I think they might edge it. And FIFA 21 is predicting a 1-0 away victory to France, which would have been my alternative result. Now, if all of these predictions came true, the table would look like this. Germany would be first. Portugal will be second. France will be third, but they do qualify as one of the best third place teams. And Hungary, with 1 point, will be last. This is what FIFA's table would look like. France first this time and Germany second. Portugal third, but look at this. They do not qualify as one of the best third place teams, unbelievably. So Portugal would be knocked out in the group stage, according to FIFA, which is incredible. And Hungary will be the team in last. So these are all my predictions for the end of the group stage. I'm going to do a separate video at some stage to simulate if all of my results came true, what would all the group stage tables will look like. And I'll do FIFA simulated table as well. So we'll see a lot more content regarding my predictions coming up soon. But once again, if you want to be part of the prediction league, make sure you comment your predictions in the comments down below. But that will wrap it up for today's video. I'm so excited for the double watch along we're going to have later. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure you do give this video a like. It does tremendously help the channel. Please subscribe if you're new. It does really help the channel. And please share this channel to as many people as you can. We want to try and get to 600 subscribers as soon as we can. But that wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary if you saw the end of this video. And as always, take care, everyone.